can I have another wine?
You're listening to the Giggle Gang podcast.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
If you want it, just come get it.
A Giggle Gang podcast.
Just be myself.
For fuck's sake.
You know, sometimes people pay me to say ridiculous shit, and sometimes I just say it for free.
That's hectic.
You're listening to the Giggle Gang podcast.
Oh yeah, we went to Durham.
Yeah.
Durham, yeah.
Which is in the northeast.
Yeah. It was like a little pub gig, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I had fun.
I had fun, and the journey was fun, but...
Yeah, it was like... the room wasn't that packed.
No.
It was just like a bunch of regulars.
Do you guys ever spend any time together that isn't driving to comedy gigs?
We haven't yet.
I think the closest thing was that one time we had that Burger King. Afterwards.
I ran into you where you used to work as well.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. So no, not really. Not outside the comedy.
No.
But we are.
I would like
we
to.
are friends, yeah.
That's nice. you guys sort of come as a package deal. Like whenever I talk to one of you, it's like, oh, can this one come?
Because he like
Can't drive.
We met back when we both started, which was like 2014, 15, was it?
15 for me, yeah.
2015, and then I stopped and Mike carried on. So like Mike was my gateway back in, as in like he knew he was running like gigs at the time and stuff.
Yeah, and he drives.
And I drive, so it's like we're both mutually parasitic on each other, and that he gets me gigs and I drive him to gigs, and then when I can get him a gig, I try and return the favour.
Yeah. That's fine.
Are we recording now?
Yeah, it's fucking on, man. This is it. There's no mucking around. You can introduce yourself if you want.
I'm Mike.
Hi,
Carter.
Mike.
It's just like a job interview kind
I
of
don't know,
situation.
yeah. Well, you didn't do like this is the Giggle Gang or anything.
Nah, because cunts already know. We're up to like 60 episodes now.
Fair enough.
So, if you've clicked on this, mate, you know where the fuck you are. Like,
I have a podcast and I do the intro every time, and it feels like so plastic every time.
I literally just press record and
And
cunts they just jump in when we're mid chat and you just start fucking listening. And this is the experience that you signed on.
The cunts, the people on the podcast, the listeners, so it's just
everyone's a cunt, mate. Everyone's a cunt.
We do have a similar type of camaraderie in Liverpool, don't we?
Yeah, everyone's a prick.
Pretty much everything's an insult, like.
Yeah.
You guys are Scouse, but you're easy to understand. I find it hard to deal with.
Well, he's not really Scouse.
I'm not really Scouse. I'm from the
plastic.
other side of the Mersey. Like, I'm from a little town called Wallasey.
Oh.
And I'm basically outside of Liverpool, I'm a scumbag Scouser to everyone.
Yeah.
But in Liverpool, I'm a fucking wool. They call me a wool, which stands for woolly back, which means sheepshagger.
Right.
Because if you're not from the city, someone said to me once that anyone outside of Liverpool's a wool, even Canadians are wolves. So
I always thought it was the towns in between here and Manchester.
like St Helens.
Yeah, all the places that are a bit country.
If you're going to play that, there's people who live in like the little suburby areas of Liverpool that are their own towns. They're technically not Liverpool.
Yeah.
So as far as I'm concerned,
My missus says I'm not from Liverpool, even though I've got a purple bin.
Yeah, bin colour. Nah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, bin colour is like a big thing of like.
Have you never heard?
You
had
heard
Adam Hughes on.
I've never heard about purple bins,
I'm
mate.
pretty sure Adam Hughes has lived in a purple bin at some point in his life.
And you know, like Mr. Fucking...
He fucking smells like a purple bin, mate. When I let him stay here on this fucking couch and he wakes up, I'm like, what have you done? Have you literally been running in your sleep?
I imagine he's bolloco. Like,
I know. How can someone smell so bad after a sleep?
That's because he's fucking pickled.
he's stewing in his own fucking
No, I mean,
juices.
he's an alky, isn't he?
I wouldn't say he was an alky.
He's definitely an alky.
Okay.
If I kept
I
giving
love
him
him.
money at the rate that he wanted me to, he would be an
He would have
alcoholic.
drank it all away.
Like, we came back from, where did we gig? Macclesfield. And he got the guy who was driving us to take him to his mum's house, where he doesn't live, because she can't put up with him.
Where was the...
And what did he get from his mum's house?
Oh, because she'd locked up for the night, he wanted some going out clothes, because he went to a gig in his girlfriend's pyjamas.
Okay.
Performed. And he kept pulling a scam at the gig, because anyone who got a soft drink, there was still a beer behind the counter for them, so he'd be going, hey lad, you want the beer? And nah. Oh, I'm not going to have a little fucking beer.
Is that a scam so much than just blatantly asking people for their beer?
Yeah. And he'd drink half the beer and then get it refilled, so we always had a pint.
Oh my
But
god.
yeah, he gets back, and where I live is like it's the end of the motorway,
Okay.
and where he lives is the other side of the city, or where his mum's house is. And he goes, well, I'll go to mine first, lad, it's nearer. And I'm like, it's not. But what his mum had done was left his going out clothes in the bin. So
in the purple bin?
No. He doesn't have a purple bin. Because he's from Bootle, which is not really part of Liverpool, or Crosby.
I don't know what colour the bins are, mate, yeah.
My
bins are off the charts. From Wallasey, my bins are green.
They've got grey.
Purple's weird colour.
Grey and maroon.
Yeah, we have grey and
It's
green.
not just purple either, it's neon purple.
We just have green for the whole fucking country, top to bottom green.
That makes sense though. Why? It just develops regionalism,
What, to
doesn't
be
it?
fair,
It makes
yeah.
it instantly you're a tribe.
This is why fucking Brexit happens, because there's all these fucking different coloured bins. Cunts can't fucking be like, his bin's different to my bin. Get out of here, mate. You don't belong here.
So this gives you something to fight for, doesn't it?
Yeah. So Hughes makes us go to his mum's house, fishes his going out clothes out of the bin, and gets us to drive him to a nightclub. Because he can't handle being normal, with his words. He needs to go on the ale.
What do you mean can't handle being normal?
He'd spent like the week with his girlfriend and he hadn't been fucking drinking every night.
Oh.
They've just proper stitched Adam up.
Which girlfriend was this? Was this recently?
I didn't realise there was more than one.
Okay.
I don't think this was recently, because this...
No, this was a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was old girlfriend. How many weeks ago? More than 2?
We need to erase this.
Was it before January 25th?
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
that might be a new girlfriend then.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. There's too many.
I can't be normal. Is that what he's going to have on his grave?
Something like something like that. That's what I was saying.
Can't be normal.
But yeah.
Was it Benjamin Barry Watkins' gig you did?
Yes.
Oh right, okay.
He
That
was a
does
lovely man as well.
Oh, isn't he great? You
Yeah.
and him would have got on so well.
He looks like a teddy bear.
You look like a teddy bear.
I know, that's why I liked him.
The two of you just fucking cuddling in the corner.
Dan Baines was on as well.
Oh really? So it was just a lineup of fat pricks.
Yeah. and John Capewell, if you know John.
I've heard his name.
I don't know.
Well, he does Slim and Well jokes, so
Okay,
yeah.
that's good. It was
He's a funny man.
a real NHS diabetes support lineup. You know.
Yeah.
So Liam,
Yeah.
the pressing question that every listener wants to know is what happened with your shower today?
What happened with my shower today?
Yeah.
So basically, since before Christmas, I haven't had a shower. The basin of the shower, well, I have cleaned, but basically the basin of the shower had a crack right through it, right? So we just got that shit a fucking letting agency that they've only just got around to fixing it. Like, it was supposed to get fixed last weekend, it didn't. It's now been fixed, so I now have a shower. Since then, I've been getting a bath every day, but I'm a fucking big guy, so it's like I just roll around in the water like a beached whale to rinse the fucking suds off. So I'm happy to finally have
Since before
a shower.
Christmas as well?
Well, no, that's a lie. It was either just before or just after, but when I say, I mean either Christmas Eve or Boxing Day.
It's
one
been
of those
2
days.
months basically.
Yeah, without a shower and just baths. Do you have a bath? Do you have a bath?
Yeah, I've got a bath, yeah.
No, but I mean, do you ever take a bath?
Oh yeah, sometimes when like my legs are sore.
When you're going to get a bit
Well,
sensual.
you're an athlete, aren't you?
No, but I
You
get sore.
just assume anyone who doesn't have a waistline like ours is an athlete.
Well, he's wearing a sports kit.
Okay, that's
I've
true.
got a lot of loose fat around here, but I used to be like 24.5 stone. I used to
Wow,
be very,
yeah.
very big, and now I'm about 15.
Are you a runner?
No, fighting. I do like wrestling and kickboxing and that.
So not
Proper
just like street
wrestling or-
fighting.
No, not just fucking cunts up for fun. No,
Proper wrestling or UFC? Boring.
UFC.
Oh,
Like,
that's boring.
technically though, that is the problem.
That is
No,
proper
The
wrestling.
UFC is the actual...
Let's talk about WWE though.
Yes, I can. For all
Absolutely.
day, yeah.
The last time I took any notice of WWE,
Yeah.
right, John Cena was the heavyweight champion of the world,
Yeah.
right? SmackDown versus Raw 2008 had just come out on PS2,
Yeah.
and the Big Show was still knocking around. Batista, Booker
All
T.
these guys are still around.
Are they really?
Booker T's a commentator, Big Show still wrestles, Cena wrestles occasionally.
No way.
Seriously, yeah.
Cena's a half decent actor now. isn't he?
Yeah, he's done
He's
some
alright,
okay
isn't he?
stuff.
Yeah,
He's
no,
really-
I saw him in some fucking sad movie about a woman on a farm.
Sounds exciting.
He was like fucking shoveling hay, and the next thing he's like fucking this bitch in a barn, and she had like a kid with cancer.
Like, is he the go-to fuck down guy? Like, if they need a sex scene in any film,
If you
John
need,
Cena's
if you
top
need
of
a
that list.
skinny white bitch from the south of America to get dicked down in a farm setting,
What
Oh,
film
John
is
Cena.
this?
You can't see
I
him.
can't remember, mate.
So I thought I'd had all this films.
We just established a hole in your
You know what I might
collection.
have done? I might have sandwiched the plot of about 9 films together and then just been like, I reckon John Cena was in that.
I reckon you're mixing him up with Channing Tatum. Personally, I feel like
No.
the plot you've just described, that's
Channing's
like
a
Channing.
pussy. Cena's a hero, right?
Yeah.
So talk to me about what's happening in wrestling now. I know there's a new guy called Roman Reigns.
Yeah, he's not having a great time at the minute. No, legit, not funny. He's got leukemia.
No, I've heard of this, yeah.
Is that like is that someone's finishing move on him?
No, he's had a bout of leukemia, but he's coming back tomorrow night to address the status of his leukemia.
Okay.
So hopefully it's good news.
Didn't he fight Brock Lesnar?
Many times.
Okay.
Many.
Is Brock Lesnar back in the WWE?
When he feels like it.
Okay.
Because he doesn't like travelling, he doesn't like wrestling particularly.
He just likes cash.
Yeah.
And
Do you
win.
reckon he can actually turn his neck, or he has to like move his whole body
I
sideways,
reckon
kind
he's
of like the old bat suits?
That's
the
what I
old
was exactly
Batman
going to say.
movies.
It's like that, yeah.
His neck and his head are just two parts of the same rectangle.
Someone had the theory to me that because he was a farm boy, he didn't just take steroids, he took steroids for cows. And that's why he was like...
Apparently, no one in the WWE takes steroids, though.
If you look at some of the people in the WWE and know anything about fitness, like I'm fucking wanted to.
You said that like you were an expert. For those of you listening, open your phones and look at the photo that's attached to this. Mike Carter's the guy with the long hair.
Yeah.
What, as if they're going to confuse me for the athlete?
Both is bad. One's worse.
That's probably the best review I've ever had.
Both's bad, but one's worse.
No, in all seriousness, can you get the internet up?
Yeah.
Trying to think of someone. Google Finn Balor abs.
Finn Balor.
Yeah.
How do you spell it? Actually, I'll get my phone.
FINN
I know that bit.
BALOR. Sorry. I want to believe Finn Balor is natural because he's one of my favourites.
I just don't,
But he looks like he's been cut with a laser.
because it's not sport, is it? It's entertainment.
You put it. Yeah,
Do
it occupies
do
a
they
very
have
weird middle
those
ground.
restrictions?
Oh,
Do
yeah,
they
they
have
have
drug testing
total
and shit?
drug testing. In the wake of Eddie Guerrero's death, they established a drug policy.
How did he die? What happened?
He didn't die of a drug overdose, but he died of an enlarged heart as a result of taking drugs.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, he had the heart of a horse.
yeah, and he's only like 38. Like that could be questionable to me.
I mean, I don't know. I honestly wouldn't have a fucking clue.
All
how
right,
you make
let's
that
try
happen.
Try Scott Steiner.
Yeah.
Showing off now.
How many wrestlers do you know, and how long have you been following wrestling?
I remember watching it when I was like a child, like 4 or 5, and I had wrestling toys, but I don't remember it very vividly from then. From the age of about 11, I can from then onwards.
Yeah, that's what you've been.
I reckon no steroids for this guy.
I don't know.
11 and I'm now 31, so I guess 20 years.
Are you not into wrestling at all, Liam?
Well, my little brother really likes it, so I actually go to see it live, like, fairly regularly.
Hang on, where are you going to see it live?
I'm not.
No,
Oh.
like
I will when I can, but not. It's just a case of it's quite expensive, and they don't often come here.
What about like the ones they do in like Preston and shit, like
Well,
Future Shock Wrestling?
I don't really,
Occasionally, maybe.
I don't really follow it, but
I don't
have
follow
been to live events, and it's hard for me because I don't really like it that much. I don't really like it at all. But the last time I went, it was a more amateur one. It was like WWE UK or something, so
NXT
UK, so it had like a more amateur feel, and that I did enjoy because there was more of an atmosphere. They're all just characters, aren't they?
Yeah.
So if you don't follow the storylines, you don't know what's going. All I remember, the first one I ever went to, it was like a WWE Raw, and there was a wrestler who had dwarfism. What was his name?
Hornswoggle.
Yeah.
Hornswoggle. And someone,
Still
some
around.
massive person picked up this Hornswoggle and slammed him down so hard that he like bounced. And I was just I didn't expect to see anything like that. So I just burst out laughing because it was visually interesting. But this guy must be a hero because the whole like crowd was silent except for my laughter, and this one little kid sat next to me just went, "You're mean."
People
like,
hated
yeah.
Hornswoggle even though he was presented as a good guy.
Right?
Because
He was Irish?
it was like they were trying to add a fantastical element. He wasn't just a guy who dressed up as a leprechaun. They were trying to portray him as an actual leprechaun who lived under the ring.
It's like American
Because he
soap
would come
operas.
out and give people chairs and shit, wouldn't he?
Yeah, and like they did a skit. I swear to God, I watched this and I stayed up to the middle of the night to watch wrestling. At one point, I still do, but I used to watch every show. They did a skit where D-Generation X are this outlaw good guy group, and Hornswoggle wanted to be a member, and they kept saying, no, you're not cool. And then they went, yeah, you can join the group, gave him all the t-shirts and stuff, and then beat the shit out of him. And like, walked away. So Hornswoggle took them to Little People's Court, which is under the ring, and they had a whole cast of small people, none of whom can speak English. They had a judge and everything. And they had to keep making jokes like, to cut a long story short.
Oh my god.
So stuff like people wanted a more edgy, realistic product at one point, and they still do largely because WWE went PG, they cut out blood, sex, and everything at certain points.
They were
Didn't
heavily
Edge
featured.
fuck a woman in the ring?
Yeah.
Fuck off, really? Yeah.
Yeah. Edge did a live sex celebration when he won his first world title.
Did he complete or did he just get taken to the edge?
I don't know, because like they just sort of got a bed in the ring and did it all undercover.
What did he play music?
Yeah, just like hardcore, like trap music. Like, you know that
And he was
song?
just daggering.
You know that song out of Get Him to the Greek when it's like, "Gonna slap your bitch, gonna scratch that hitch," you know?
Fucking.
Getting all these kids are just wide-eyed. Like,
Do you know how Edge got a world title? It's a fucking fascinating story.
Isn't it from the suitcase hanging from the ceiling?
That's the storyline thing. The reason he got pushed to being a top bad guy was he was best friends with Matt Hardy. Mm-hmm. And Matt Hardy's dating Lita, one of the lady wrestlers. Mm-hmm. While Matt is at home...
is this in real life or
Yeah, this is totally real. Okay. While Matt's at home with his broken neck...
This is totally real.
No, I swear to
yeah.
God, this is real. Lita and Edge start having an affair. So Matt finds out, kicks off backstage. Because Edge is a bigger star, they're like, don't be kicking off about this backstage. He carries on kicking off on the internet, so they fire Matt. And then the fans start booing every time Edge comes out, we want Matt. So then they hire him back and do a storyline about the actual breakup and put Lita with Edge, and then that Edge gets carried to the world title off the back of that.
So Edge was the cheater?
Yeah, Edge was
the home wrecker, man.
So he had the dirty dick.
Edge robbed his best
world
mate.
champion.
Yeah.
That Lita, she was in a band, and my mate supported them in
Yeah.
Liverpool. Yeah.
They're not a group.
I've not listened to them.
I know one song by them I don't dislike.
I think that's a stellar review, isn't
It's
it?
called White Boy. I own it.
I can relate to it.
Yeah.
So, can I ask you,
Yeah.
do you... Okay,
Do I believe it's real?
no. You have two options.
Okay.
You get to write the storylines for the WWE for 1 year, or you get to travel across the UK and Ireland for 1 year doing paid stand-up. Both pay the same wage. It's 30 grand a year.
That's a tricky one. Would my storylines be executed the way I come up with them? Because Vince McMahon is famous for being really on the ball and controlling everything he does. Like, he'll change things the second. Like,
You just get to work as one of the writers.
then no, I'm going to do stand-up.
Really? Okay.
He's fucking insane.
Okay, so Vince McMahon's no longer there and they get done exactly... You're now the new Vince McMahon.
Then, yeah, I would do that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that'd be like a dream come true to some extent.
But the stand-up is not a dream come true?
Definitely it is, but like, I can potentially get to do stand-up. I'm never going to get to be the head of the WWE.
Not with that attitude, you know. So defeatist.
I've got no background in it.
So if his thing that he'd do over stand up is WWE,
Yeah.
what's yours?
Oh, that's a good question. I love comic books.
Okay.
I'd want to do some writing of some sort. Yeah, I think I enjoy the writing aspect of. Well, I don't enjoy actually doing it, but do you know what I mean?
You enjoy the idea of writing.
Yeah, the initial start in writing is something that just bugs me because I'm so hypercritical. Like, it's only when I start getting a canvas and I start getting a piece of shit that I can make sparkle a bit. You know what I mean? That's when I start to enjoy it.
Canvas.
Yeah, that's it.
So runs out of space. Becomes expensive.
It is. It's pricey. But I'd reckon writing something like maybe like comic books or screenwriting. They're all things I'd like to try. Yeah. So probably,
But they're not things that you've done.
No.
Mind you, you've never been a writer for the WWE either.
No, I haven't.
I feel like he's more qualified to write for the WWE.
I mean, you also like comic books, but
I love comics.
Like, before it was cool, if you can ever say it is cool. Do you know what I mean? Like,
comics.
Everyone
this
When has it ever been
superheroes.
cool to like comics?
It's mainstream now,
Hang
isn't
on.
it?
I like the way you like. He likes comics as well, but I've been doing it longer. I'm older than you.
Whoa, I didn't mean to fucking... What colour are your bins, lad? I didn't want to start any
Lads.
I started when I was 7 reading comics.
I wasn't saying that you weren't, but the point I was trying to
I was
make
fucking kidding with you.
is that it's now mainstream. Like, comic book movies, everyone...
No, I used to work in a shop,
Yeah.
and our manager called it the Big Bang Theory effect.
Yeah.
Why? Because
you were getting, other than like the usual crowd, which is people that look like me and Iron Maiden t-shirts. Oh, have you got issue 576?
With like wolves on the t-shirts.
Yeah. The wolf.
do you have wolf t-shirts?
No, I'm
Oh.
I've never got there.
Draws the line of foxes.
No, I am wearing a really bad t-shirt today that says "Powered by Pizza." But yeah, and we started like making proper money as opposed to like the same 10 people that came in every week.
Yeah.
What do you think of it all? Do you like? Is it your thing at all?
Comic books?
Yeah.
No.
No.
I'd
No
say
hesitation.
It should be in theory because I'm dyslexic, so I can't.
That's not the criteria.
No, but I can't like read and write, and I don't like to read and write.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
a book full of fucking pictures would be the ideal situation, would it not? But no, it wasn't. I don't think it's mainstream. Like you
really
saying, it's
don't?
mainstream.
Maybe not necessarily the actual books, but the characters and the concepts, hands down. Now
Yeah,
with the
like
Marvel universe, everything's
Black
like,
Panther. Black Panther's up for Best Picture tonight.
it's all most
the Oscars.
adaptations and a lot of TV shows.
See, I
get
had
made
no
are
idea
all-
they came from comics. I'd have thought Black Panther was just a character.
No.
This is where the disconnects come.
Yeah.
Is I've been like, ugh, a book, gross. I'll go see a fucking movie. Like I've got a book in there about fucking leadership by Sir Alex Ferguson that I've been promising my own self that I'd read for about a year.
Don't.
Read Spider-Man instead.
Okay.
You'll learn a lot
He's a
more
fucking
about being a
bacon
leader
face.
than you would reading Alex Ferguson's book. What's the thing you choose then? Like, you know, if it's over stand-up?
Primetime radio presenter.
Yeah, radio.
Yeah.
No, fucking-
Or doing this. Doing
Yeah.
this, but like in a studio.
Yeah.
So like I like the idea of a radio presenter, but then whenever I'm on radio, I get angry because I get told what I have to say.
Gotta be careful.
Whereas as here, like we are now, it's all very free.
Yeah.
Well, you did agree to be the weatherman
When?
on the radio. You get told what to say. It was a really weak joke.
Well, I did sometimes
Stand up.
do weather. I did weather. I did traffic. I did all sorts of different things. I gave away fucking dumb prizes to people that weren't grateful. It was just, we'd have to screen for like literally prize pigs. So we'd have like a phone system. It was like touch screen, and someone would ring in, and they would ring in so many times that their name would be attached to their number, and then we could see how many times they'd rung in that month. It would be like 34 times. This person's ringing in again.
So would that sway you to give them the prize?
No, I wouldn't fucking touch them. I wouldn't even answer them because they got nothing new to say.
Yeah.
Whereas we'd get a random number, just a set of numbers, first time ever
More
calling it,
curious.
and I'd be like, oh my god, what are you about? And turns out they're just fucking off their face on fucking Tesla. They're like, like, yeah, what's going on, mate? I'm just fucking fucked up. You got tickets to the fucking footy? I'm like, no, cunt. Like,
What were the prizes like?
tickets to the footy, movie tickets. They gave away a house at one stage, but it wasn't really a house. What you got was 15,000. Basically, you got a mortgage. Right?
You got debt.
because you won.
So you won the
You
start.
won the deposit on a house. It was the first 15 grand on a $300,000 house.
Right.
But now you are forced to have this house in a suburb that you didn't pick, a design that you didn't design, and you're having to pay for it.
Yeah, it's not the best
That's
prize,
like,
really.
you ever hear
is it?
about that Simpsons competition?
What?
People won the house from the Simpsons and they had it decorated to
Oh,
look.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, but because Fox owned the copyright, they had to immediately, once you won it, take all the Simpsons paraphernalia out the house and
That was the only
redecorate.
thing that made it worth
Yeah.
winning. It's crazy. Did you ever hear about the Hold Your Wii for a Wii contest?
No.
So when the Nintendo Wii came out, like a radio station in America had like hold in a Wii for as long as possible. The person who holds in the piss the longest wins a Nintendo Wii. And the woman died. She fucking died, yeah. It's crazy, isn't it?
I remember. Oh my god. Radio competitions are so amazing. So, have you ever had like the hand on the car? So, like all the people are standing
I've
around,
heard of that,
right?
yeah.
And you have to put your hand on the car. And if you take your hand off the car, right, then you're out. And as many people as you want can start, right? And it was in. This is before I was involved in radio, right? I was just a kid, so it was in
Were
like
you doing Radio Hero back home?
Australia. I've
Yeah.
done it here as well, but it hasn't gone as well.
That's because you want to talk about your dreams and people are like, we're waiting on the fucking traffic.
Especially in fucking
You know,
Manchester.
Radio Manchester. Why is the sky blue? And people are like,
People are like, why is Mancunian Way fun? why have they closed all the lanes?
are you ever not happy but not sad either?
Are you ever melancholy?
Nice use of the word melancholy.
Thank you. But this hand on the car, right? So it starts off. Anybody can get involved, right? And the car is in a car park. And it goes, and about 12 hours later, it's gone from like 60 people touching the car to 10, right?
Yeah.
And we were watching because, like, my mum was very involved. Didn't put her hand on the car though. She was like, "We've already got a car." I was like, "Fucking,
go for it.
Put your fucking hand on there." So she didn't do it, but Mum was like, "We're going to go home and we'll come back in the morning and we'll see who's still here," right? So we left at about 9 o'clock at night and there's 10 people there. This is how sad our life were, right? We were from a small town in New Zealand, like right at the top of the North Island. There was nothing else to do. So we wake up the next morning, we're like, let's go see who's still touching the car. So we go back, there's 4 people left, right? There's 2 brothers, right, that know each other. So they're working together, right?
It was.
Yeah, they know each
Not
other.
necessarily.
They know each other quite well, right? And then there's a woman and another like older man, right? And the brothers are just talking to the woman, right? And they're going to her like, "What do you need the car for? You know, what do you need the car for?" And she was like, "Oh, you know, I've got kids," and she had the best sob story out of everyone, right? And then the announcers are back there because obviously it's breakfast radio, so it's prime time to obviously talk to the people that have made it the whole 24 hours. So they started the competition the morning before. They're talking to the woman, and everyone wants the woman to win. And this old guy would not budge. He was like,
What did the brothers like?
so the brothers are trying to like mediate, and they're trying to talk the old guy into like letting go. And they're saying, if you let go, we'll let go, and we'll let the woman win. And he was like, I'm not letting go. So the brothers, so the brothers are like, we're not letting go, because as soon as he lets go, or even if she lets go, we'll stay in and we'll just give her the car. Like they were trying to be like the heroes of the thing. So the woman ends up like backing out, right? She ends up like almost having a fucking like fainting episode because it's so fucking hot, right? And then like bringing her cups of water, and she just takes her hand off for like a second, and it's bang, she's out, and like everyone's devastated. And the old man, right? He's seeing like the dollar signs in his eyes, right? He's like, this car is like, he's got like 4 cars at home. He doesn't give a fuck. So
But
the brothers,
how old is he as well?
like 60.
Oh, so he's not like a week left old.
No. He was like he was close to like like retired
His
age.
family would get a few quid back when they sell the car.
Yeah,
but he's
absolutely.
he's
But he
had
was
time
like-
to save money. Like
he
you
was
said,
just he
probably
just
got
wanted
cars.
to be the villain of this radio contact. So these brothers were then trying to like talk him out and basically trying to like guilt him into giving up the car, right? So
Yeah.
that they could give it to this woman. And this was the scheme that they had going. And eventually one of the brothers dipped out because he was like, I can't fucking do this anymore. Like my arm is killing. Because they have to just stand.
Yeah,
You couldn't
keep it
sit. You just have to stand
Oh, no.
and just have you go like that. So the old man's like both playing mind games back and forth. Anyway, the old man ends up dipping out. He takes it off to like fucking brush his hair or something. I can't remember. But one of the brothers wins. The funniest bit of the whole story is he didn't give the woman the car.
So they were just mind fucking
They were
everyone.
just fucking everyone. They were like, because they saw this woman as like the victim, as like the
prop.
yeah.
We don't have a sob story. Let's use ours.
Yeah, just being like, and it was like, and everyone loved them. They were so nice. And then it came out like a week later in the local paper. They're like, those bastard brothers that won the ZM's cash out of the car.
Imagine being going down in history as the Bastard Brothers.
Everyone would know the car as well.
Fucking
scratching
at
it.
the fucking supermarket, cunts are gonna key in the car. You bastard brothers! Someone's just bought a fucking gold Ford Telstar, and he's like, "Why does my car keep getting keyed?"
I reckon that woman well got a car
Sounds
bought
so
for her though.
entertaining though, doesn't it?
Oh, it
was,
was riveting.
A program on Channel 4 years ago. It was like when Big Brother, before it was a proper...
I really wanted to go on Big Brother. I was always too young, and then by the time I was old enough, they axed it.
When it was
I
just,
just
like...
wouldn't necessarily want to run the risk of my dick and balls being on telly.
But
Do you not have an impressive... You look like you have an impressive...
Well, I don't have a
knowledge.
unit, but I don't have it's anything to be ashamed of. Me, I'm fucking 100% a grower, not a shower. Like... On flaccid penis, there's not much to deal with. But then it's like, oh, where did all that dick come from? No, like not all that dick. I don't
You
want
look
to
at me like I know.
I have an abnormally small penis for the size I am. However, I own it.
Yeah.
So, like, no one can ever embarrass me. Everyone's like, oh, where's your dick? Like, I wear tight jeans. It's like, I don't have one. It is just underwhelming. Because I'm a very big person.
I'm super comfortable with my dick.
Yeah.
I instantly got red in the face talking about my dick then, and that's never happened to me before.
I can't
It's
tell you
usually
if
one
I'm
of my
red.
favourite things to talk about.
With who?
Anyone who listening?
People on the train.
But yeah, Big Brother, that's too much. I reckon you'd be too relaxed after a certain amount of time and you forget that it was all being broadcast.
Yeah.
You'd either say something or do
That's
something.
people do, don't
But that's the
Like
fun of it. That's the excitement. That's
But
what
they
I
don't
wanted to
show
go on.
when
I wanted to
someone-
go on and fuck with people. Like, get in their head and win it with, like, the mind games.
Yeah.
But then you just turf you out when you do stuff like that, don't you though?
No, but no one will know. You play everyone.
Right.
Right? You play the character as
what-
like the honest,
What do you
vulnerable
do?
guy.
Do you play the audience in the diary room, or in the diary room do you let the outside world know?
You can't let the audience
that
know
you're a
because then
dick.
they'll vote you out because they'll be like,
No. So you never
He's
let
Matt
the
the
audience know.
bastard.
So I almost let the people inside the house. I let the people inside the house sort of see it a bit, but then in the diary room, you're playing the outside.
Yeah.
You want people to think that I'm a nice, trustworthy guy. You concoct situations where it appears like people have fucked you over and been dishonest, so that they get voted out.
That's crafty, that.
Ooh.
See,
but everything's filmed, so they
to-
might film your machinations.
No, but it'll all be in my own head.
Right.
Right? Everything that I project out.
It seems like you've played out an entire season.
Oh mate, I've played out 3 seasons. I've played out when I've won and then come back for the best of.
Because of course you'd get to the best of.
Absolutely, mate. I'd be the most exciting person in there, and I'd look like I was really haphazard and I had no plan either.
Would you go for a relationship?
Probably, yeah, a meaningful relationship, probably with a guy,
You thought about this? That'd work.
because gay is like the new black.
Like, I'm pretty sure that's not the TV show on Netflix.
I have no opinion.
Like it's so cool, and no one can be against you, right? But if I'm how I am, I'm not a camp person, right? But I'm also not overly masculine, so I'm very sensitive. So I can appeal to the women, but I can also appeal to the men.
You've definitely thought this through.
Come on, mate. Bring it back. Let me get on the UK one.
Did they have it in Australia?
Yeah, it was massive in Australia.
Is it still
and
on?
then some woman, I think she put a bottle inside her minge, and then
That was over
That was
here,
in
yeah.
the UK, yeah. Did
No.
they do it in Australia too?
What happened? No, it was no, okay. So here, the girl put the bottle in the minge. Over there, a guy got his ball back and slapped a woman in the face. and then yelled, "Turkey slap!"
I do not condone those actions, but that is just so funny. That's like the Aussie version.
She went on to be a very successful commercial radio presenter.
Did she?
Yeah, and he went on to nothing. And she got slapped with a bollock. So, ladies, if you're listening and you want some advice, if you want to make it in show business, get a pair of bollocks slapped in your face on television, and that is
What was the name of her radio show? Was it like...
Her name was just Camilla. And
okay.
she was just on a show in Brisbane, in my hometown.
Yeah.
Just Labby, Camilla, and Stav. It was just, you know.
Just their names.
Yeah, just their names. They don't. Why do they name radio shows here?
Well, I just thought, maybe something like that was related to what happened to her, like fucking tongue-in-cheek with Camilla or something.
Yeah.
You get stuff like the
Balls to
film
the
program.
wall.
The turkey touchdown
I like to think she's got an imprint.
of bollocks on her face.
Yeah.
Sort of looks like a rash, like the skin's a bit uneven.
What a thing to that's the thing that pushes you to...
Success.
Yeah. Balls to the
Because
face.
everyone knew who she was, and like it was almost like she was up for it. But then, like when she came out, she was like, "Oh, I cannot believe that this conduct is going on." And the network that broadcast it was, "Hey, yeah, fuck yeah, we don't know either." So then, axed,
It's like someone was going to make the phone call to be like, issue an apology, but they were just like, I thought you got it. No, I thought you got it.
Imagine being the people that film it, right? And you're in there and like nothing much is happening. They're brushing their teeth and, they're talking about fucking tree houses and what they're going to put on their oats. And then next thing, someone gets slapped with a scrotum in the face. Like, they must have been like, woo!
Oh, I don't understand
Our
this.
big brother survived a lot worse than that.
Scrotum though, just before you go into that, how do you get the swing to hit someone? I mean, I don't have...
You've got to have a low hanging
Yeah, you
scrotum,
gotta have
and
a
then you
side
sort of just like pick it up and like grip it here, and then just like you're
golf.
passing in a golf ball.
Our big brother had people shagging and doing racist stuff on it.
Doing racist
Yeah,
stuff.
remember, like...
Our big brother had people
Oh,
shagging.
yeah.
That was fine. But doing racist,
Yeah.
how racist are we
Like,
talking?
very racist. Like, do you know who Jade Goody was?
No.
She was on one of the early Big Brothers and she was known for not being super smart.
Okay.
Like, she thought East Anglia was another country.
What is East Anglia?
It's a district of England.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Okay. I
Well,
don't
you're
know.
allowed to not...
Yeah. There's lots of stupid things. So they brought her back for the celebrity special,
Yeah.
and they brought her family in, and like she was going out with this guy who's like 19 or something, and her mum's this ex-drug addict. But they had a Bollywood actress in there, and they start calling her things like Mrs. Poppadom.
Yeah, her name was Shilpa Shetty, and she called her Shilpa Poppadomalu. And it's like ruthless, but like
And then
she had
saying
no
she
sort.
should go back home, and
Yeah, and then she was this like. For some reason she was
like a
famous.
novelty figure.
She was
wasn't she?
famous. She became famous from being in Big Brother. So that when she went back on the Celebrity Brother and did all that, she was like fucking
She tarnished her
hated.
image
You know
a
what I
bit.
mean? Everyone in the papers was slagging her off. But then she kind of she died. She
Yeah,
died
she
really
got on
young.
well.
She had cervical cancer.
Yeah,
And then did a loophole where, because obviously she was young and was dying,
she had kids and everything. It was really
she
awful.
became the nation's sweetheart again.
But our
Passed
Big
away.
Brother kept going for another 10 years after that, easily.
Really? Because we
Yeah.
had a guy called Merlin who wasn't
like a wizard.
he was not a wizard, right? But he was really upset by the way that refugees had been treated.
Okay.
So he went into the Big Brother house with tape over his mouth, and he just didn't speak the entire
Did he
time
win?
he was in there. No. He didn't speak while he was in there, and he just had a shirt on that just said free the refugees, stop mistreating, and all he would do was through his clothing basically pass out these messages about the refugees, and the public just voted him out after a week. They were like, we don't want to hear about this depressing shit. We put the refugees on an island for a reason. How did he get that?
So I assume he was going to go in like, I've got a big winning dynamic personality.
Yeah, and then when he actually did it, he just like duct taped his mouth up and wouldn't speak.
I get that. Like when I
tried to stealth the system.
I went on the TV show The Chase, like the game show.
You were on The Chase?
Yeah, a couple of years ago.
How did you go?
I got to the cash builder round.
I don't know. I've never watched it, so explain what cash builder
The final round.
How much money did you win? That's all I care about.
I didn't win. Yeah.
Why not? What happened?
I fucked it. I fucked it all up. The point I was trying to make is that I was dead. Like, it just started as a joke. I just said to my mates, we were like having a drink and that, and I was like, it's about time that I go on a game show. And my mate was like, I'm going to make this happen. And it was the only one that I'd like was taking applications at the time. And he was asking me the questions, and I was just giving him stupid answers to make him laugh in that moment, but he was writing those actual things down, so they like thought I was this like weird crazy guy, and on the phone I was just trying to be funny, taking a piss a bit, and I had a laugh, and it just escalated to I'm on the show. But then I was like, shit, I could actually win some money here, and I was so serious. There was no hint of fun or anything. I was like, let's do this. But yeah, I took the lower offer on The Chase.
What does that mean?
Oh, people hate you, don't they, when you do that?
That instantly makes me a scumbag in the eyes of 95% of people.
Why?
Because you answer questions, and each question, so you've got the cash builder round, which is the first round, and each correct answer adds £1,000 to the pot, right? So like,
Is The Chase a team game?
It is an individual game that then becomes a team game.
I think to get a share of the pot, is that it?
Yeah, so there's a panel of 4, and then you just take it in turns to go up. So I was the third one on. There was already like 9k in the pot or something like that, or 8k in the pot.
A few bob then.
Yeah, and I'd built up £4,000, so I'd only answered 4 questions right in the cash builder. I'd built up £4,000, but then you get a chance. This is like where the chase begins. You've got like the professional like quizmaster or whoever it is.
Which one were you against?
She was new at the time. She's called the Vixen.
Oh, I don't know it.
I had to sign a non-disclosure thing to say I wouldn't tell anyone she existed, so naturally I told anyone who'd listen.
And they gave just as many fucks as you would expect.
No one gave a shit.
Yeah, oh, she's called the Vixen. What does she look like? Don't know, woman with glasses, dark hair. Like
literally, yeah. So like then you get asked questions, like you and the chaser have to answer, and obviously the aim is to just answer enough to get back, but you get an option to either get an offer of more money and you have to answer one additional question, or a lower offer, which is usually negative. So people hate that, because if you go back, you cost them, the other people, money. But mine wasn't negative, mine was £1,000. And because there was already 2 people back, I thought, that's £1,000 less each, and I'd rather have a chance of winning £3,000 than no grand, do you know what I mean? As opposed to £4,000.
Yeah.
So
you went for the lower one and then you still fucked it.
And then I still fucked it. I was like the designated team leader in like the final round.
Because you were wild, zany and crazy. And then you got there and you were
literally just because I said I'll do it. They were like, alright. So I was the team leader, so I got to relay the questions when the chaser was like trying to catch up to what we'd done. And she if she gets one wrong, it's halted and you have a chance to answer. And if your team gets it right, then the chaser gets knocked back a peg. Yeah. So they asked...
But people are loving this in-depth game
So,
chat.
I know, yeah. Like everyone knows the concept of the chase. Like tibia or fibia was the answer. I can't remember the question, but it was either tibia or fibula, like bones in the leg.
What's the bone in the leg? Yeah.
So the chaser said fibia. No, the chaser said fibula, and it was wrong because the answer was tibia. But I thought that it was tibia and fibia, and that she'd actually said the right one wrong. So then I just basically said the same thing as she did and got my back.
No.
And to make matters worse, I have a first class degree in biomedical science. So if there was any question I was qualified to answer,
no
it
way.
was that one. Yeah,
so a friend of mine went on the chase in Australia, right? And he posted up a picture, which I'm trying to find now, of him. But it's basically, like, it's very upsetting. Here we go. So this is the photo. He's Steve there, right?
Yeah.
Number 3. Okay.
He looks like he's having a good time.
Right.
Oh, you have the same chase as
So
we
the
do?
description is, apologies to Annette's kids for fucking up their chance to go to Disneyland. Game shows are hard. And there's Annette next to him.
It's just devastating. It was like the best thing I mean, the worst thing about it all was that they paid for your meal, your evening meal, like the night before, and you got a £15 budget, and I thought it'd be like claiming expenses, so you could use up to £15, you give them a receipt, and they just pay whatever you paid for it, and I thought, I'm going to fucking milk this. My meal came to like £14.95, do you know what I mean? I wanted to maximise that 15 quid. Nando's, it was just because it's like fairly, expensive. Well, it was the most I could get with that budget, I reckon. So,
Where was it filmed?
Down in Elstree, which is down in London.
Okay.
Elstree Studios, but or just outside of like the city centre. But it turned out they just give you 15 quid in an envelope. So I could have got a fucking Mackey's and at least come home with a tenner. And that was the most soul-destroying thing about it. Was that I thought I was cheating the system, getting as much money as possible, and I could have at least come home with some fucking money. I got abuse on Twitter as well, as it was like my brother messaged me, when type into Twitter, #the chase. And so many people tweet about the chase when it's on. I couldn't believe it. Like
live tweet is
someone I know tweets about the British Bake Off, and she got 500 responses.
Really? People love it, yeah. They're like they're sat there with the phone watching the chase at the same time.
People are like that with anything if it's live. People are just like...
Because they also, don't they put the tweets up on the screen, isn't that? I used to tweet The Voice in Australia and just say really ludicrous things in the hope that they'd put my tweet on the screen, and they never did.
They do that with some shows, but not with the chase. One of my favourites was someone just posted a picture of a leech. And I took the lower offer. Someone called me a scouse bin dipper. Purple bin dipper.
And you're not.
That's the thing.
What does a bin dipper mean?
Just rob. You steal from bins to survive, I imagine. But the best one was, this big scouse wimp on the chase looks like Big Al from Toy Story 2. And he posted a picture of Al from Al's Toy Barn, and I couldn't even argue with it. I just had to retweet it.
I've never told you this, but you look a bit like a lad I went to school with.
Okay.
Was a lad Big Al?
No, but he was my mortal school enemy.
Really?
like you have many mortal enemies. Like mortal school enemy.
How do you get a school enemy? What happens?
You know, you just rub up against someone and you don't like each other.
Usually happens in nightclubs.
That's a foreign thing.
I've not been rubbing up against kids at schools for a while.
No,
you used to.
You just meet someone and it doesn't mesh. And it was like that. But for whatever reason, he took my laid-back attitude personally.
Like, he took it as a weakness, or he got angry at you because you were so laid back?
Pretty much, like...
Because I called a girl a whale on MSN.
The one instance I can really remember...
like fucking Moby Captain Ahab over it.
The problem was we lived in such a small town, is that her dad was my mum's pharmacist.
Oh.
So...
obscure connection.
So he made your mum overdose in revenge.
So my mum went from...
What's with that prescription?
My mum went from having a high blood pressure to no blood pressure.
Blood pouring out of her eyes.
Yeah.
I think you took it too far, Matty.
She was a fat bitch though. Fuck you, Emma Porter. And Mr. Porter, you're also a fuckhead. Right, tell me about your school anyway.
He was just a guy that I didn't get on with. He wanted to be part of our circle of friends, but he tried to be...
What, that read comic books and watched wrestling?
Pretty much, yeah.
Hey, don't knock it till you've tried it.
It was like, when I went to school, we had like 400 or 500 kids, and then you can choose to stay on and do further education, go to university. And by the time I got to that, we had about 30 in the whole year. So our classes would be 2 people, 3 people.
Yeah.
So I just took classes with my mates. So we had a media room that was built for 4 people. And we had it. Our teacher was a really great guy, but we had him fucking conned. we got him. We were like, oh well, if we're gonna study film, we'll need a telly and a DVD player. So we got a telly, a DVD player. We're like, yeah, we can't be arsed going in the shop. So he brought us an oven and a toaster in. We went and
you installed it in the fucking wall.
No, a mini oven.
Like a pizza oven.
Yeah, so we'd make bacon butties and that before we had lessons.
Microwaves in Wallasey.
Yeah, but it wasn't a microwave. We went and got a water fountain out of the staff room.
You fucking had the sweet setup there.
Yeah, we had computers.
This is like MTV Cribs.
Yeah, we went over to the music room because the teacher...
My media
you couldn't rob stuff You know, like the teacher couldn't say, I'm having that. But he could go to us, lads, if you're interested, there's a purple flying V in the music room that no one's using.
What's a flying V?
It's a shape of guitar.
Okay.
It's literally shaped like a V. I know you just want to play a guitar. The music teacher said I can't borrow it, but if it's not there, when she comes back, I won't say anything. So we had a DVD player, telly, guitar.
No
Just
way.
fucking riffing out in the corner watching
Yeah, would you
Babe
believe?
Pig in the City.
Would you believe we got D's and all?
Fucking hell. My favourite room at school was definitely the music room, but I couldn't play music.
No, I can't really.
But it was just literally like a fuck around because you had like the main classroom bit and then you had rehearsal rooms. So you had in this room you had a drum kit, in this room you had 3 guitars, in this room you had a piano, and in this room you had some fucking music stands so cunts could sing if they wanted to, like whatever.
Yeah, we had something similar. Yeah,
Did you have keyboards?
yeah we
I reckon
did.
you'll have had this same experience. Keyboards that make noises like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, and
Yeah.
either make
And
them
you could
have
do like a
sex.
frog croaking or something.
Yeah,
like, yeah.
make it sound like they're having sex. We'd spend entire lessons doing that.
Oh, we never did that.
Yeah, because you'd get someone like, oh wow, we get all the noises together and make it sound like they were having sex just to wind up the teacher.
That is literally the most virgin thing you've ever said.
Yeah, I did this when I was 12.
Get out and start fucking, mate. You guys start drinking at 11 here.
Not in that class because the teacher ended up being found guilty of being a nonce.
Well, do you want to hear something? This is a fun way to finish, right? Because we've done almost an hour, but
We're just going to end on noncery.
Well, no. I found out.
Like it's a like Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Noncery.
I found out that my old woodwork teacher was convicted of murder.
Holy shit, yeah.
A Supreme Court jury has found former high school teacher David John Hunt guilty of the murder of Angelia Michael Moore 2 years ago.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, he pleaded guilty, saying it was... Sorry, he pleaded not guilty, saying it was in self-defense. He was having an on and off masochist sexual relationship.
Fuck me.
Miss Moore came round requesting that he give her some money and delete some bondage photos that they had taken, at which point he struck her with a metal bar. Then...
So this is self-defense.
Then he struck him with a metal bar, which he had armed himself with before she arrived, then threw her down a flight of stairs, and then took her out into his front yard and strangled her until he felt her spirit leave her body. That's what it says! That is a direct quote. Now, do you know what the most disturbing thing is?
He's still teaching.
No. He's doing life imprisonment, right? This is his daughter,
Oh,
right?
no.
This is his daughter, who we went to school with. She's a very good-looking, well-to-do young lady.
Yeah.
And she's engaged to be married to this bloke.
It's not that bad.
I know. She's just living what appears
Just
like
a
a very
normal
normal life.
That's all you could do, innit?
Her dad bloody murdered a
Well,
woman.
some people don't have relationships with their parents. Like, I've never met my dad.
But he taught at the same school as her
Right,
until
yeah.
he got convicted of murder.
Yeah. Can I ask you to look up one more story because I think you'll like it?
Can I ask a question first?
Yeah.
Right, woodwork is a decent career for someone who's into bondage to go into because
Yeah.
does he probably make all
You've
the
got all
sort of
the
shit?
gear.
That's it, yeah. He's
And the
used
school.
school equipment.
Well, what
to
I
build
thought
his
was
bondage
ironic
kit
is he
and
did
shit.
so much work with wood but chose to belt her with a metal bar.
He's got the lathe as well.
It's got so many tools, right?
No one would suspect
what do you
a
want me to look
woodwork
up?
teacher.
Liverpool
metal-based
Echo.
murder.
Mooning attempted murder.
Mooning.
Yeah, it's not like a pleasant story, but if he likes that, he'll probably get something out of this.
It's not that I
For
liked it.
a podcast called
I
Giggle
just-
Gang, and we're ending on noncery and murder.
Yeah.
Teenager arrested on suspicion of attempted murder.
Is this the one about basically these guys? Yeah, this is the one, I think.
Okay.
These guys had a falling out, so his mate goes round and moons him. The fella comes out the house and tries to kill him.
Fucking hell. Do you reckon he had
Teenagers
hemorrhoids or
arrested
something?
on attempted murder after a man was stabbed in
Skelmersdale.
Skelmersdale.
We call it scam. It gets called scam. And if
Some
you
woman asked me if I was from Scam at Hot Water the other night, and the bouncer goes, "What the fuck are you on about, you stupid slag?" And I was like, where's Skem? And he goes, nowhere you want to go.
One of my favourite
Schem,
insults.
someone's got a protest sign up that says no more nuclear waste for Schem because they've got enough.
One of my favourite insults I heard recently was someone like who was bald had their hood up, yeah, as they came in, and they went, "What's wrong with you, Skeminem?"
That's fucking great.
Version of Eminem.
This was an isolated attack. It doesn't say anything about mooning him. Oh, here we go. Man stabbed to death after mooning former pal. Matthew Kershaw and partner Joanne Sherritt were both jailed today. A man who stabbed his former friend in a fit of rage after he mooned him was jailed. Matthew Kershaw, 50 years old, in a fit of temper and annoyance, stabbed Norman Richards, 49, in the neck with a combat knife because he got his fucking cheeks out.
That's fucked up, that.
That's some mooning job he must have done.
There was a stabbing in
Must have
Scotland.
a hell of an arse.
There was a stabbing in Scotland, and the guy, they were friends, and
Yeah.
there was an argument over money that was owed, right?
Yeah.
But this is like, obviously it's sad the guy died, but his last words were, he genuinely said as he was dying, his friend had just stabbed him, took him by surprise, and he just looked at his friend and said, "There's no need in that, Tony."
Fuck, well,
He's right.
we are about to go to a comedy night where Death himself will be present, but I feel like he's graced this podcast, you know, more than anything. Boys, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for
thanks
having
for
us. Yeah.
I fucking loved it. And keep doing what you're doing. Plug your podcast.
Oh yeah, I've got a podcast called Tough House Podcast, imaginatively named because my name's Liam Tuffy and my friend's name is Joe Stonehouse. So it's called Tough House Podcast. We just talk shit.
I thought it was called Tough House because you were Liam Tuffy. You recorded it in your house and you think you're hard.
Well, I am a bit of a fucking, you know, like a brick shit house.
Yeah.
There's a saying around where I live called like brick tough house, and that's what it is, really. But I want to come across more likeable, so I don't tell people. Now, a lot of to be fair, it's not the best name. It's not the best podcast, but please listen to it.
Have you, in comparison, enjoyed my podcast more than your own?
Oh, mate, what you want, the truth or?
Yeah, the truth.
My podcast. I of course I prefer that. Yeah. It's
Really?
Well, so much better.
'Cause
in
I love-
every way, you should really stop listening to Giggle Gang.
I love other people's podcasts more than mine because when I get to be a guest, I feel like I get to
Yeah,
be
you're free
myself.
because you're not
Yeah.
organising it. I think mine is like, I do it with like two of my oldest friends, and just like one of them in particular, just the conversations just often take a turn when he starts taking the lead, and that I never cease to be astounded with some of the shit that comes out of his mouth. So I feel like a piece of shit for picking my own podcast.
What's his name?
Isn't it? That's Joe. His name's
That's Joe.
Stonehouse,
Tell the
yeah.
martial arts story briefly because that still makes me laugh.
Which martial arts story?
Your friend, the first martial art he learned.
Yeah, so we just had like friends on and people we went to school with just as guests, you know, just like get catch up with people and also like get another perspective on some of the things we talk about, like weird news stories and that. But one of my friends, he's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu instructor, and he was talking about like his passion, you know, getting into it. First martial art he ever learned was in the back of a pub, and it was called Keto, because it was invented by the two guys who ran it, called Keith and Tony.
And what was involved? Was it striking? Was it on the ground?
No idea whatsoever.
That is
That makes me
hectic.
laugh.
Is he from Wallasey?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that makes
policy
sense.
behaviour there.
Yeah, that does make sense. I actually know two blokes from Wallasey, but I'll talk to you about it off air because I want to protect their privacy. We've mentioned a lot of names on today's podcast, but these lads, they need to stay sacred. Thank you, boys.
No worries,
Bye
thanks for
now.
having us, mate.
Thank you.